Hello, and welcome to Pencil Tips. Pencil Tips is a show to help young people improve their drawing skill. I'm Mr. Martin, an elementary school art teacher. So we're going to get started here, and I have a little guy already up that we're going to talk a little bit about. I have a lot of requests for help with drawing this particular character, and I'm sure I do not have to introduce him. A lot of these little characters from the Pokemon series, like Pikachu, are based on very simple shapes, but they are blended together to make a complex shape. Some of them get much more complex than Pikachu here. But we have some iPads in my art room, and I often will look up an image of Pikachu to let a student look at for reference as they're trying to draw him. And it's always helpful when you get those step-by-step sorts of drawings where you see the first step and it is a set of simple shapes. And then you take those simple shapes and you add, the second step might be actually sort of adding detail and erasing some things, and you just get further and further. But you don't always have that. And the real thing is that you don't need it, because I can already look at Pikachu here, and you can too, and see that his head is kind of a circle. Now it doesn't meet. It's the bottom is, let me use my pointer here and show what I'm talking about. You can imagine there being a line to complete this little circle, and there is a little bump here to make it a little more complicated, but you can start with a pretty basic shape, and then underneath it, the bottom of his body is almost like a little mushroom. Like you could imagine the top of the shape sort of being like this and sort of having a flat base, almost flat base. So those are the two main shapes that make up Pikachu here, and you can imagine them. So you don't need one of those how to draw step-by-step pictures, sets of pictures to draw something. You can just look at any cartoon character like this and break it down yourself. So if I were doing this, I would probably use a light touch with my pencil. On this program, I'm going to use blue for what I call ghosting, which is where I'm not making the final image. I'm just drawing a shape to get something on the paper. So if I were doing this with a pencil, I would work very lightly. And now again, I'm imagining that bottom shape and what that might look like. So again, this is not looking at all like Pikachu yet, but I am going to work with these two basic shapes to make them into Pikachu. It's just good to give you a base about how big the head is compared to how big the body is. This may be better like that, a little bigger. And now I'm seeing that the head actually sort of connects and goes straight down. And I'm seeing that there's a little arm, his cute little arms with the little fingers. Here's the other one on the other side. And, of course, those little feet at the bottom. And up here we've got, it looks like his head, my shape is a little strange, so I'm going to make it a little flatter and wider. I could do this a little better with a pencil, but I'm still able to use this blue ink to get a base down, and then the real image will be in black over top. So I'm just taking those basic shapes and building them up. His tail is just a zigzag. And now I have to sort of place his eyes. Now this image here, he's not looking straight at you. He's kind of looking over to the side a little bit. It's called a 3/4 image because he's not directly looking at you, and it's not a profile either. It's sort of in between. And so what I have to do is I have to imagine where the middle of his face is, and I actually try to draw where that is. Like here's his nose, and then here's that little mouth right there. And it gives me the ability to see how far over this eye would be and how far over this eye would be. Of course, he's got the little cheeks. So, it's a beginning. So now I'm going to move to black ink, and hopefully, with luck, it will look a little more like Pikachu. Now, if you were using pencil, Now, I'm not trying to make this look exactly like my blue drawing because I am going to change things as I see fit. And I'm already seeing some things that I need to fix about the first drawing. So I'm going to sort of try to fix this little body shape a little bit and try to imagine that the blue drawing isn't there. So again, if I were working in pencil, the blue drawing represents my ghost drawing. And it's what I tell my students, a ghost drawing is where you barely touch the pencil to the paper. You start by doing that, and then you can fix mistakes, and it's very easy to erase the light lines from a ghost drawing. So here we go. We're adding some eyes, and it's pretty easy because I've already got that blue drawing underneath, and I can change it as needed. So let's see what I can do here, and I think we're almost there. It's looking pretty good. It doesn't look quite like the drawing I'm working from, but that's okay. That's not always the point, is to make it look exactly like that drawing. Your drawings will have their own personality, and they'll sort of show where you are in your artistic development, which is a good thing. It's always a good thing. And if you can pretend the blue drawing isn't there and just look at the black drawing, you can see I'm closer than I was certainly with the blue. So that's my little tip on how you can start with a ghost drawing, and you can start with basic shapes and take those basic shapes that you imagine make up the complicated shape and turn them into the final drawing. So that is Pencil Tips, and I hope that we can do a lot more of these episodes, and I can help you guys with your drawing skill. So stay tuned.